Hello and welcome back to another
We put in
video.
plenty of fuel to finish the race.
Today we are in the Formula C car
The
at Magny
estimated
course.
SOF is 2,230.
We're in a pretty high
Let's take opportunity.
Irating race. So the average one was about, as you can see in the dashboard, 2100. So a pretty tough field we got here, because there weren't a lot of people that did this race on the day I did it. So it should be a difficult race, but we will see. As the lights are going on, we're revving the car up.
Green flag, green
And away we
flag.
go for the race here at Magny course. Pretty decent start. The yellow car couldn't get on our inside as this P2 car did, so he goes on the inside. I tried to get on his inside, but went a little bit deep into this corner, as we are now going into the toe towards turn 3 or 4.
You cannot leave the throttle there.
Because these guys are going side by side, so we might
The next car's the leader.
try to follow the car on the inside here to get this position, as they both go a little bit deep. The yellow car behind us tried to go onto my inside,
Car on
so
your
I
left. Keep to the right.
try to get
Clear.
a little bit behind them, because it's pretty hard to overtake there, especially with cold tires in the beginning. As we go up to his inside, he brakes really early
Clear.
and we punt him. So that wasn't the best move for me. But as I always say, shit happens. You gotta keep going and learn from your mistakes, as we will do. We are now in second place. P1 was really quick. I couldn't manage to get on the same pace as he did. So the only thing I could try and do is to stay close as possible.
35.069. You're in
So right now
second
we
position
are
right now.
still pretty close to him, 0.6. SP3 is also 0.6 behind us. As he goes a little bit wide, almost into the gravel there. As we go into the hairpin. I never drove this track. This was my first time around here. In the first practice session it was pretty difficult to get around here. But after a few laps, about 10 laps, I managed to get some pace in. Still not the fastest times. But we started with a 35-36 as my first few laps. And right now we are already on 31, so that's some good improvements already. As I'm trying to get into the 130s. Right now we are still pretty close to P1, so not that far off his pace. As I make a little mistake through that corner,
Cut that corner.
we get
You've got a
a
slow down penalty.
penalty for it. So this is the moment where P1 will go away from us, where we do not have any toe anymore. And probably P3 will also overtake us right here, because I need to lift because of the penalty we got.
Right side. Clear.
So that's one position lost. But we are still on the same pace as this guy is. As before is also pretty close. We might have to look for him as well, that he doesn't overtake us. Really nice few corners here, flat out. So I take a completely different line than they do, as you could see as well in the first lap, where I punt somebody. take a little bit more to the inside. They keep it a little bit more to the outside and then cross back. But it felt pretty okay, as this guy as well got a slowdown as well. So we get P2 back again, but P1 is already 2.8 seconds in front. As we are now 5 laps later. In lap 7, he's already up to 5 seconds, as P3 is now 2.1 seconds behind us. So as you can see, 31.3 is our best lap. Last lap I lost a whole second, so that's not that good, but still we had a pretty big margin to the car behind. P1 was impossible for me. 4.8 seconds is quite a lot, but it meant I had to do like 30.5s or something every single lap. It might be possible, but in this race it wasn't possible for me. The main thing now is just to stay on the track, do not make any mistakes, no spins or cutting the corners anymore. Stay on the track, do your lap times. And then we got a P2. This corner, pretty hard to nail that one, especially when you've got a little bit higher force feedback. The wheel just goes crazy on the second curve there. You should almost take it completely with your whole car. So right now P3 is closing in on us, just 0.9 seconds, 1 second. And P1 already 7 seconds ahead of us, so that's a lost case. Yeah, he just disappeared into the distance. So right now we needed to stay at least 1 second ahead of P3. A really fast track. There are some fast corners, then we got some slow corners as well. But also pretty easy to spin the car, lock up. Especially in this corner I locked up quite a few times. I really like this track. At the beginning, of course, when you're slow and you're making a lot of mistakes. Practice in a track can be pretty difficult and pretty hard and frustrating, but after a few laps, when you know the track a little bit, then it becomes quite fun. As P3 is now still 0.8 seconds behind us. But he's slowly closing in on us. Make a little mistake here. A little bit too hard on the brakes. A little bit too late. But still the same gap. Like go a little bit wide here, so not the best lap
31.5.
to do. So he's already closing in 0.3 seconds.
17.
So we have to defend into the hairpin. Already 0.2. And this the toe works really well on here on this straight. You can see him right now closing in pretty quick. You see how fast he's coming right now, and he's looking for an inside move.
Right side.
I already saw it and
Still there, hold
left
your
a
line.
little bit of room for
Clear
him,
on the right.
so he could overtake us without any contact. Because we're already at a 4x. So. And I knew I made a few mistakes. So I just let him pass. Because he makes a little mistake as well. I make one. Little slide there. Make another mistake there on the last corner, the last thing.
Keep it up, we're in a great spot.
In the beginning of the race I nailed it pretty easily, but after these 13-14 laps I made so many mistakes through there. Way too much curb, and too late on steering me into the corner as this back marker lets us go. We're already losing 4/10 right now on this lap, and he already is 1 second ahead of us. We are now skipping through a few laps, going into the last lap, trying to push as hard as I can, because he's not too far away from us. We still get this toe over here. He had a little bit of a better exit for the left-hander. So no time gained over here. Trying to bake as late as possible here. A little too deep in there. But that makes me lose already a few times. As I now know that the race over, because it's pretty much impossible still to catch up or you make a big mistake. But over here you cannot overtake into the last corner. So that's it. Still a P3, still a podium. So that's pretty good.
There's the flag, it's over.
But we could have had P2.
Great job, you did really well.
If I did a little bit better. We did do a 31.1. So that was a pretty good lap. Maybe could have gone into the 130s, but after all, it's a pretty good race, especially when you look at the SOF being pretty high, higher than normal. So that's looking good for the future if we get towards the 2K Irating or 2200 Irating. So yeah, that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.